It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and like have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cup's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm Sam Bird. You're listening to Bird Core. As always, I'm joined by Jenny Kim. Jenny, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for asking. Another special episode today. We have another interview, and I'll tell you who it is. It's an up-and-coming Toronto content creator and DJ. He was on Big Brother, Season 10, is a TMU Sport Media grad, back when it was Ryerson. Is that correct? Mm-hmm, it is. Mm-hmm. He was actually in one of my YouTube videos back in the fall. Shout out Prison Pants. That's our TIFF video. He has over 250,000 followers on TikTok, over 12 million likes, and millions upon millions of views. If you go to TMU, you've probably seen him. And if you go to U of T, you probably told him, sorry, I got to get to class. Ladies and gentlemen, Moose Bendago. Moose, thank you for being here. I said it right, eh?
Yes,
Bendago? Amazing.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah. For all the U of T listeners out there, which probably don't exist, they don't like me on that campus.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I don't either, because I have a rivalry with them and I went to this school, so I've never been a fan. But you know what? My pride and my loyalty lies with this school, and it always will.
Yes, as it should, yeah. So, but when you say a rivalry, you didn't play any sports here, did you?
I didn't, but I actually used to attend all the games. I used to go to all the women's, men's basketball games. I used to go to volleyball games sparingly. I used to go to hockey games all the time, which they were so disappointing.
Yeah?
We never make it out of the first round. It was like a curse for 4 years. Like, we were, no matter how good we were. But basketball, we went to a lot of the games. I actually was flown out by Ryerson to go to the U Sports National 8 Championship in Vancouver.
Really?
In Vancouver twice. Once in Halifax. So like I used to go to all the games. We used to we were diehard fans. We used to be like sold out every single game.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was a pretty diehard Ryerson Rams fan for sure. Yeah.
They flew you out, but you had to still pay the tickets and stuff, right?
No, they paid for our flights. We had to just pay for our Airbnb and like our food and stuff like that. And even then, they like kind of comped us like a meal, like one meal, but they paid for a flight for about 16 of us to go or something like that. 15, 16 of us. No, I think it was less. I think it might have been like 11. And it was the student union that kind of like funded it, because we were just so like loved the game, loved the team, and we also won the Ontario Championship for the first time in like forever. So they were, happy that people were going to the game, so they sent us out to Vancouver to kind of cheer them on. And we came in third place that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Bronze medal's okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
And you did a lot of Rams live at your time here, right? So you were calling some of the games.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was kind of bled into my fandom of the team. So I started off obviously doing camera and all that, what you do in first year.
Yeah,
and then I wanted to be on air. So I transitioned into doing the halftime show for the men and women's basketball games. That was kind of my bread and butter. So I did a halftime show, hosted it with a variety of people. And then I also like doing hockey sideline is my favorite, because I love making hockey players mess up and like not talk like hockey players. This is my favorite thing to do, especially because I knew some of the guys and the girls that were playing. So it was just really funny to them when I had to interview. They're like, Moose, no, like I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, you don't have a choice. And they're like, okay. So I would just like make it really funny, because I would know that they would like, just to catch them off guard.
Yeah.
So that was really, really fun. I love doing sideline for hockey. But yeah, I did a lot of Rams live, produced a couple of games, I think one, but mostly I was doing mostly like commentary, sideline reporting, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is kind of like intermission, like when you're talking to the players kind of thing, when you say sideline?
I was doing interviews like at halftime, hits in between timeouts and whistles.
Yeah.
And then the halftime show was just like, we used to do it in this like little section of the gym that was like, there was like a garage, and we just had like a little table set up there, and we'd throw to us at halftime. We'd break down the first half. They would go back into the game second half, and then we would do the end of game report, kind of like they do, for TNT with the guys. Obviously not as professional, but we wore suits, so we thought we were professional.
Okay, yeah. Hey, look good, feel good, right?
Yeah,
That's what it's all
exactly.
about.
And we did feel good for sure.
That's good, man. So speaking of interviews, a lot of people when they see you like that's kind of your big thing right now is you're doing these street interviews in Toronto. A lot of it on campus here.
That's right.
That's actually how I met you.
Yes.
You were doing that the night that I was filming my TIFF video with Rory, my partner, for our YouTube video. Yeah.
It's a great video. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
It was a lot of fun.
So back in the summer, is that when you kind of got into doing the street interviews? Like when did that start?
Yeah, that did start for me like end of August. So I kind of was off of my whirlwind of doing Big Brother, and a lot of people that will do the show without getting too deep into it will tell you that you have a couple months of rehab essentially coming back into the real world. It's not really an easy transition, but you know, I'd always wanted to do content creation. Since I was in school here, and it was just something I was like, I want to do this, and I just didn't have the time to commit to it. I left my previous job, to go on the show, so now I was unemployed, and I had no excuse because I had all the time in the world. So I buckled down. I shot like 75 pieces of content over the span of like 2 months.
Whoa.
And then was posting 2 to 3 times a day, every day on TikTok in December and January. And you know, I had one video that did really well, and that kind of like pushed my trajectory up to where it is now. But yeah, it was like the end of summertime was when I started kind of pushing that whole thing forward.
Okay. And you already had, you know, you said you're on Big Brother, so you already had a little bit of, would you say, like a following?
I'd say so. Like not entirely. My TikTok was definitely dead. I had like maybe like 2,000 followers or 3,000 followers there. Yeah, I didn't have a lot going on. Yeah. On Instagram, I did a little bit. Like I gained about, I want to say 2,500 followers from the show. So I went from like 5K to like 7K. And don't get me wrong, my blinded mind was like, I'm going to be out here with like 50,000 followers. Like, this is going to be money. I'm going to be chilling. Yeah. And I was like, oh, damn. Like, I really got to push to get more followers here and push content, because that's always what I've wanted to do. I want to travel and freelance and do what I want to do, you know, in my life right now, at least, and kind of like live a sort of freestyle the way I see it. So I want to do content creation full time. So I was like, I got to like push out content here to get these fans engaged, keep them interested in my page and want to follow me, because yeah, you might follow someone off the show, but then they just post their regular lives and you're like, all right, I'm kind of done with this.
Yeah, after a few months.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So I just told myself that it was time to really commit to this content creation goal that I had, and that's kind of where the TikTok stuff came from and why that's been being pushed the way it was. Yeah.
And I see on TikTok that I think the one video that you're talking about in particular, that it's where you went around. You've done this a few times. You go around. You say the first half of a Vine, and then someone. But the one that blew up is when it was the one that Anthony Padilla from Smosh.
Yes.
Was it that one? And didn't Megan Trainor comment on that too?
Did she?
Yeah, it was
I think someone might have, yeah.
Yeah, like those are big names. Those are like full-on celebrities. What is that like to have someone, you know, you see the blue check mark comment, you're like, okay, hold on, this means something, right?
It was pretty, honestly, it was pretty cool. First of all, Anthony Padilla reshared it on his Instagram story. Which had me geeking. I was like, crazy. That's crazy, because I loved them in growing up. I don't know if you watched Smosh.
I did watch Smosh, man. That was part of my identity as a child.
Dude, epic food battles. Like, I used to love that stuff. So I DM'd him back and forth for a little bit. I was just like, hey, man, like, you know, I don't want to make you feel old, but like, used to watch you as a kid growing up. He's like, no, bro. Like, he's like, it's so funny you posted this right now, because I've been on a nostalgia trip for the past like month, and I just saw this video. So it's like, he's like, yo, I was like, yeah, man, like, it's good stuff. And I think Megan Trainor commented on it. I think there was another one, because I haven't checked the comments on that thing for a while. There was like tens of thousands.
Oh, man, yeah.
So I couldn't scroll. But there was a couple of other people that were like, you know, notable that had commented on it. But it was really cool, especially for someone like him. I really wanted Drew Gooden to see it. A lot of people were trying to tag him, but he doesn't have a TikTok. But I love Drew Gooden on YouTube. I love his stuff. But it was cool, honestly. Just like the fact that they saw it was cool. I wasn't really trying to, like, you know, push myself forward in any way or trying to get more notoriety off of it. I just thought it was awesome that especially the people that made those Vines commented and were like, oh my God, this is so funny. Like, I remember making these videos. So I think that was like the coolest aspect of it, is just the fact that, you know, the OGs who made it were like, like, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
so it was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Then does TikTok, like, I know in Canada, I don't think TikTok has like a creators fund. So they don't pay you, right? Like if you start to blow up?
Yeah. They don't pay you in Canada. Yeah, it's definitely an American thing. And I don't even think the TikTok creator fund pays you that much, like, in general. Me and my friend actually tried to do the math based on some articles, and it was like hella cap. It was like,
Really?
Yeah, it was something along the lines of, let's say Charlie D'Amelio. Like if it had been based on her views or her likes or something, she'd be like a multi-billionaire. Like that was like those were the statistics we were getting initially. So I don't know what the number is. I haven't like looked it up because again, it doesn't really affect me because I am in Canada. But yeah, the way that I'm trying to make money now is just by doing brand deals. So I do some branded content. And I do like street interviews and kind of meld that into my Instagram and my TikTok and stuff. So that's kind of the way I'm making money off of this right now, which I'm trying to do as much as possible this year. Hopefully,
so
that's
like
the biggest thing.
What what brands are you working with? Are you allowed to say what brands you're making videos for?
I did. Yeah, I mean, I did a brand deal with KD, like Kraft Dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I was around here filming for that. I did a brand deal with Bumble and Molson Canadian.
Okay,
that was pretty good.
That Molson one's still going on, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's the contest ends on the 17th.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. I mean, I when I do brand deals, I like try to do stuff that aligns with what I like. Like when the Molson and Bumble reached out to me, I was like, listen, guys, I don't use dating apps and I don't drink like that. So I'm not your guy. And they were like, no, like we really like your content. Like, how can we make this work for you? And I'm like, look, this is probably gonna be pretty disingenuous. Like, I'm not gonna be the type of person that's like, oh, like, do you guys want to go on a sick date with Bumble? I was like, it's not going to work for me. And they were like, no, we want you to do like a street interview style thing. Like, we really like what you're doing. And I was like, all right, like this brand is willing to be malleable towards my interests, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. So I always try to do stuff that I'm going to be able to, work in a positive way towards, as opposed to just like make the content in order to make money. Like I had a brand deal with this brand that I will not name, but I canceled my deal with them because, first of all, they sent me an email that said, we want you to wear your hair presentably, is what they said to me.
Get a haircut and then do this video.
Yeah, which is funny considering the fact they saw all my videos, and that's why they wanted to work with me. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, they're paying me, it's fine. I'm gonna swallow this pill. Then the second time they emailed me, they changed all the deliverables, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm gonna swallow this pill again. Then they emailed me a third time saying that they were gonna cut my pay if I didn't do it on time, and they sent me this 3-page document, and I was like, you know what? I'm good. I was like, I filmed a video with you guys. You can have those for free. I'm not doing this deal anymore because it was just didn't align with what I liked, and they weren't being respectful of me. It's like, you don't own a creator for paying. I was like, listen, if you're paying me $10,000, all right,
different story.
I'll shut up. Yeah. You know, but if you're paying me like whatever amount of money, it's like you don't own me to tell me what to do. They were like trying to tell me how to content create. They're like, try cutting the video like every 1 to 2 seconds. I'm like, I'm very well aware of how editing works. Yeah. And it was just like not for me. So like for me, it's like I wasn't afraid to step away, which I felt good about, because no matter how much, if there's a certain threshold of money where I'm like, okay, but up until that point, I'm not going to be like bowing down to all of your requests, you know?
Is there a brand that you would like to work with?
Oh man, tons. This is really weird, but I really want to work with Lush. Like
that's like the
soap?
bath bomb?
Yeah, like
store?
the bath bombs and like the soaps.
Yeah.
They have the most fire hair cream.
Really?
And, oh yeah, like it's insane. I wear I'm not wearing it today, but I wear it like most days when I go out and do stuff. And people are like, "Oh my god, your hair smells amazing."
Is that coconut?
Yes, straight up. They're like, "Yo, it's so good." I need a brand deal with Lush more than I need it with any other brand. At least right now, because I love them. They're Canadian and they're sustainable. So they have a lot of good things about their brand that I like.
Okay.
So yeah, I do want to work with Lush really badly. And I also connected with someone from Levi's recently, so maybe I might do something with them because I love Levi's jeans.
Are you wearing Levi's jeans right now?
I actually am.
These
are my favorite jeans, bro. These 501s, I've had them for like 8 years. I had them like since my first year of university. I love these jeans, and they've been washed. They're quality. I travel with these jeans. They're like pajama pants now. They're so comfortable.
Jenny is a big Guess jeans fan.
Guess?
Jenny got a lot of Guess jeans, yeah.
What? How did this come up? How did you find this out?
Well, I don't know. Like,
yeah, how do you know?
I see the pants you wear. I'm like, oh, those are Guess.
That's true. They're my favorite pair of jeans.
I'm like, hey, those are those Guess jeans again. They do fit. Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
I think they're not good for guys. I think they're good for girls. That was their initial push. Like, they tried to be like high fashion for women. And because I've had Guess jeans and they just suck after like 4 washes. Really? But that's just me, though.
I hope Guess isn't listening.
Yeah.
But Levi's, Lush.
Levi's, yeah. Levi's and Lush for sure. Absolutely.
So are you, are you at a point now where you kind of start to get recognized in public?
Here for sure.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
honestly is a detriment to what I'm doing. Even I saw you that day on the street when you know, when I was filming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. About, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. I saw you, and it's just like, which is fine. I love when people come up to me and say hi. But
Like
what's
Ryan
up?
Sykes right
There
here
he
in the
is.
window.
What's up, beauty? So yeah, I do get recognized here on campus a lot,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun. But the thing is, some people run away from me because they're like, "I know what you're doing, and you're gonna make me look dumb." Which I don't do that. I don't make people look that dumb. If people don't know what they say, they're like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Oh, that's okay." But some people run away because they're just too scared of the moment, which is like a little bit frustrating because I just want to go up and ask people. But other times it's obviously fantastic because people are like, "I watch your videos and I love your videos. And I think they're awesome." And it's great to feel that way about. Alluding to earlier, school I'm so passionate about, and I love it here. And people don't really have school spirit in Canada or like that much pride in their alumni, but I was proud to go here, and I really love this school. So it's nice to have students, care about me and what I'm doing and think that I'm entertaining because I owe a lot to the school for friendships and connections and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to give people entertainment. But I do get recognized a lot more from the TikToks than I do from Big Brother. Yeah, for sure. At least nowadays.
Well, Big Brother was kind of your start, was it not? Like,
that was the beginning of sort of everything. It was actually weird. The day we came out of the hotel and we were like released into the real world, and they were like, "Go be free." It was a weird day. We walked down to the lobby of the hotel, and I was with two of my other castmates, and our families were there. And this couple comes up to us, and they're like, "Oh my God, are you guys from Big Brother?" And we were like, "This is a sick joke." It was genuinely, outside of like the receptionist in the hotel lobby, first two human beings that I had seen like in the real world, and they were like, "Oh my God, are you guys from Big Brother?" I'm like, "Who paid you to say that?" Like, there's no way.
Where's the camera?
Literally, I'm like, "There's no way these people recognize us," and they were like, dead ass recognize us, and we're like, "Oh my God, like we haven't even seen the finale because it was the night before." They're like, "Who won?" And we told them who won, and they were like, "We hate that guy." I was just like, I had to vote for him. So it was like really funny, and then I just like. I knew people were going to come and say hi, but I didn't realize how many people were Big Brother fans. And like, you go to different events or like kind of public places where there's like a lot of people, and like, sure enough, there's always like a Big Brother fan that wants to say hi, which is really cool. But that's kind of like the start of how that's happened. It actually also, weirdly enough, started when I used to work for the Raptors, because I used to be on the Jumbotron a lot, and I used to be in the arena. So like a lot of people actually used to recognize me from that in the street.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to wear this bucket hat. They call me Bucket Hat Guy. And people used to see me and be like, "Are you the bucket hat guy from the Raptors?" And I'm like, "Indeed I am."
As a matter
So
of
I
fact.
guess that's kind of where that started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday on my Instagram story, I put up a little preview saying that you were going to be on today, and I had asked people if they had any questions.
There's no way people actually had questions.
I had a few questions, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, not too many, but still, we got a few.
Okay.
One is actually pertaining to Big Brother.
Okay.
It's from my buddy Elias. He
Okay.
wanted to know, I mean, you kind of just touched on it a bit, but what the experience was coming out of Big Brother Canada season 10, and he asked, was it hard adapting back to normalcy? You said it was difficult. Is it something that takes like a few months? And what exactly, like, I don't watch Big Brother, so I'm not actually familiar with how long are they in, like, I guess you're in a hotel, you said, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Yeah. So so when you reach a certain part of the show, you become part of the jury. And
Okay.
the way the winner is voted on is based on a jury of their peers, is the way it works. So it's like you're not voted on by Canada. We did have a Canada vote, but it was worth one vote.
Okay.
But you get past, so it's for people that get past a certain point in the game. So it's like you can't get eliminated week one and then vote. Like, you weren't in the house. Like, you weren't there that long. You have to be there a certain amount of time where it's like, okay, this person's been there. They understand what's happened so far in the game. So the whole process is 12 weeks, including a 2-week quarantine, and the game itself is 10 weeks. People who were there past week 6 were there for the whole 10-week period.
Okay.
Once I got eliminated, I went to like a jury house. It's like a cottage somewhere. And you're there for 3 weeks until the finale. And on the finale night, you vote for your winner. There's 2 people left in the house, and you vote on basically who you think you should win.
Okay.
And there's 2 people sitting there.
Okay. It's like a $10,000, or no, $100,000 prize, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So you're voting on a $100,000 winner, and you're there with. So for us, we had 9 people, or we had 8 people. So we. So after coming out of the house, like, what was difficult for us specifically is the fact that we went in during COVID still. So things weren't open, if you remember, 2 Februaries ago, I think it must have been. Or was it last February? No, it was last February.
Yeah, there was a mini lockdown last February.
Yeah, it was
I
just
think.
before the
Back when,
Russia war.
Yeah, that was when Omicron was
Yes.
coming up.
Exactly. And things weren't like open. Like
Yeah.
things opened up and they were open and they closed again.
Yeah.
So we went in during masks still, like it wasn't like open like that. And then, I kind of got an inkling that things were open when we were in the house after I left the jury house because we had to like drive to a couple places. And I was just like, I feel like masks are gone and like the world is open. So we came out not only from this 10-week thing where you're isolated from society, which we all were kind of for a while, we came out into the world that was completely open. And it was like loud in public places and like no one had masks on, which was like that wasn't the issue. It was just like it was different. It was different to be back in the real world. And it was different to be back in the real world that was fully open, like do whatever you want.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we had like a double whammy for our season. So it was like a little bit more difficult, but most people, it depends. Some people it takes like a month. Some people it takes like 2 weeks. Some people it takes 3 months to kind of like really get a grip on society again, because it's really weird to be, 10 weeks is kind of, if you're 5 weeks, 6 weeks and you kind of get eliminated, you're okay. Like you get your phone back, you kind of can come back to society a little bit quicker, but you still needed some time. But for people that were all the way through, like it took us a while, like at least for me, and I know for other people it felt that way. Like we would call each other and it was just like, man, I feel so weird and like I don't even know how to talk to people, and I don't even want to be around anybody. I just want to be around you guys, and like I just want to talk to you guys because you were around these people that you feel comfortable with for 24 hours a day, every day for 10 weeks.
Wow, man, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So everybody's different. Everybody's transition to the real world is different, but it's not easy and it takes some time. Like I couldn't even recognize myself looking in the mirror. Like I was like partying a lot and like, which wasn't an issue, but it was just like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was in Montreal, I was in Toronto. Like I was bouncing around everywhere. I had no stability in my life. I also wasn't working. Mm-hmm. So like I was just in this whirlwind of like nothingness almost, because I just was trying to transition into the real world. It was weird. It was a weird 3 months. And then like by the time end of August came around, I was like, okay, like I feel a little bit more normal now and I feel like myself. Yeah. And I don't feel like weird kind of being in like public and stuff. So yeah, everybody has their transition and their vice when they come off of the show. But yeah, it's not the easiest transition, but I think we got it twice as hard considering the whole like COVID thing. Yeah. It was pretty tough.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
What's it like when you're on the show? And I see these reality shows on Netflix and stuff, for example, The Circle.
Yeah.
What else is there? Too Hot to Handle, stuff like that. You have cameras, they're rolling 24/7, right?
Yeah, they are. We don't have it, we don't see camera people.
Okay.
In the Big Brother house. You only see the people that you see and then the host Arissa, and you see her on a TV screen. But there's like cameras like these. There's literally cameras like these all around the house. Okay. So they just kind of follow you around, but there's also camera people behind double glassed windows, so you can't see their cameras.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, but you don't know that they're there. Like you literally can't see them. They're just like mirrors, right? Like they're double what is that called?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like when you look at it, it looks like a mirror, but from the other side, they're looking in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like the ones in cop shows. Yeah. So they're all like that. So you never see the camera people, but there's all these cameras that follow you around in like the washrooms and stuff, and like in your bedroom and everything. So yeah, it's being filmed 24/7, but you get used to that though. Like that's like not a problem. Like you're living your life. Like you're normal. Like yeah, sure, the camera. You talk to the camera sometimes for fun. Yeah. There's like I was watching a clip of me yesterday. I was delusional, man. Like I like made this sock puppet, and I was like talking to the camera with this sock puppet, talking to the camera about like how. I'm like, you're worth money, and the sock puppet was just like, oh my god, I was delusional, man. Like I was losing my mind without knowing it. I was losing my mind. Yeah. I was like, oh, like the sock was trying to figure out understand what society was and like why we were all there. It was really really weird. But like again, you do weird things when you're like cooped up and you have nothing to do. I was just messing around, having a good time. But you get used to that. You just like kind of live and enjoy and have a good time. I was there and I was having fun. So that was the best part for me. Like I was just enjoying it the whole time.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
And did you get to win any money or not because you were eliminated? Like, are there like little like incentives or something? Like, oh, you've been here 6 weeks. Here's a little bonus, like something like that. Or?
So the week before I left, I won $1,000 prize for best celebration, which they did every week then onwards for the rest of the show. So I won like $1,000. You also get a per diem like pay for the amount of time that you spend on there per week or per day. It's not a lot of money, but it's money. And but yeah, I won $1,000 thing for like best celebration. There was somebody who was trying to get rid of me, and then I won this competition and like saved myself, and then like I was like chewing them out, and I was just like, you tried to get rid of me, like let's go. It's pretty hype.
It's like that clip of Leo in Wolf of Wall Street. Like, I'm not fucking.
Oh my God, no, that's literally what it was. That's
Really?
literally what it was. Like, it was like, you tried to get rid of me, I'm not leaving. I did not say that. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But I was like, you tried to get rid of me, like, let's go. And they were like all confused, like, whoa, like, I don't know why Moose is upset with me. I'm like, you literally tried to get rid of me last week, and now I'm survived. Like, don't be mad that I'm hype. Like, I'm hype, you know? So yeah, it was literally that clip. It was so funny. It was, yeah, that was it. That was one of my better moments on the show.
That's
so
good,
that's like
man.
kind of the most money I won.
Okay, cool. And then, so the show ends, you come out, then end of August, you kind of get readjusted, you start doing these videos.
Yeah.
At this point, like now, present day, you've done so many different videos, and you have so many different clips, and I'm wondering, like, what is the craziest thing that someone has said to you?
Oh my God, in an interview?
Yeah, like
on
if you,
TikTok?
I know you say, what's your worst first date experience? Something like that. Like, has someone told you some really whack shit?
No, honestly, there's one video that I have posted, which is of this guy, and I asked him what's something his parents don't know about him,
Okay.
and he said that he loves doing recreational drugs.
I saw that.
Yeah. And, you know, he's like, which, I mean, this isn't a slur, but he's like, I was like, what kind of drugs do you like? And he's like, anything below heroin, which sounds bad.
Yeah.
But it's not, because he's saying anything below that, but just the way he said it made it sound like he just loves hard drugs, which like, it was just really funny. That was like kind of the weirdest one. And that was when I first was starting, but honestly, no, I don't really have. There's a video I've been meaning to post that my friend needs to send me the video of it. But I interviewed this guy when I was in Banff for my birthday, and he said he went on a date with this girl's family, and she ghosted him on the date. Or he went on vacation with this girl's family as kind of like a first date.
Yeah.
And then she ghosted him on the trip.
While he was there with the family.
Yeah. And he hung
Really?
out with the family still, but she just kind of like stopped talking to him.
That's kind of weird.
It was so weird. I was like, what are you? I was like, what dynamic is this? It was like a second date. He's like, yeah, it was like one of my first dates with this girl. I'm like, that is odd as hell. They were probably super rich.
Yeah.
They must have been super rich if it was like, yeah, bring this guy
Yeah.
go ahead on this family vacation. So funny. But that was also one of the weirder ones that I remember recently. Because like, what?
That's weird. Like, at that point, do you just kind of, do you book a trip home? It's like 3 days in. It's like, okay. Well,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
listen, if I'm getting all paid and I'm in Cancun, I'm staying.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
whether
true.
or not she's hanging out, I'm gonna find somebody else to hang out.
Yeah, I'm going to meet another girl.
Yeah,
whatever.
for real. But that was so odd to me. I don't even know how you could be enveloped in a situation like that. You know?
Yeah, that's got to be strange. But I feel like that's someone who be like, oh yeah, come on this trip with my family. Like, well, I don't even know your last name.
Yeah,
Like, hold
yeah.
on. That is a bit strange.
It is a bit odd. He was a cool guy though, so like I could see him just being like vibing.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, yeah, like no problem. And he didn't even care that she ghosted him. He was like, whatever. I was like,
And that makes a good story though.
it was.
It makes a good
was.
story,
I know.
so-
I gotta post that one soon. It's pretty funny.
Damn. So
Yeah.
you're posting 2 to 3 a day.
I was, yeah. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not like Sarah Jenkins, if you know who that is. She was
Name.
she's a TikToker.
Yeah.
/ social host / creator / works as a producer at CBC, and she was posting 2 to 3 a day in app, which to me was insane. I just had a conversation with her recently.
Dang.
That's wild. If you do stuff in app, especially, like you're nuts. And she was doing that 3 times a day, and she's still doing that now with her
Okay.
full-time job. She's a beast. Like,
That's a lot, man.
yeah, she's a beast. So I'm not at that level right now. I'm posting 1 a day now, if that. Because I've really run out of content. So
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do some interviews hopefully after this, but I'm just like, I really gotta push some stuff coming up in the near future. But I'm pretty much at 1 a day on TikTok. Like I'm satisfied with now that I have a following.
Yeah.
I just want to put out good content now.
Yeah.
So I can be there. Like I can post good videos, and if they're good, they'll catch.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they won't. I don't need the 1 a day. Like it would be good to keep that sort of tempo up. But I just kind of want to put out the quality now, but then get back to the sort of 1, 2 a day,
Yeah.
hopefully in the next month, and then just like have like a month's worth of content ready for that, because it really took a lot of grinding to get those 75 pieces, like 80 pieces when I first did the posting. So yeah, I'm kind of at like 1 a day, if anything, like 3 to 4 times a week now at most.
Okay. And do you have like do you have a team that's with you? Like I know you got a cameraman. Do you do all your editing yourself?
Yeah.
What's that process like?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do all of my own editing. It's my friend. My friend films for me. He also has a TikTok page. Shout out Deviation TV if you guys want to look that up. He does like pickup artist stuff and like funny things.
Okay.
But he films for me, and then I do all of my own editing.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that works. Like it's funny because it's like people are like, you produce, edit, and direct. It's like, okay, no, I edit the videos and I'm in the videos.
I put subtitles.
Yeah, exactly. I put subtitles and I cut it. It's like, yeah, sure, I produced it, but it's not really a production. It's just like it's a video I make. So yeah, I do all of the editing, and it's strenuous. I'm sure, as you know, like editing isn't an easy.
Yeah, I feel like it takes time to kind of get in a rhythm, but then once you know the process that you want to do in terms of like setting the sequences, and then I'll just put subtitles. It's repetitive. It's easy at that point.
Yeah.
It's still a lot, but
yeah. Once you kind of know what you're looking for, like in your cuts and stuff, and like it's pretty systematic. It's just about sitting down and doing it.
Exactly.
Which I've been pretty lazy about the past few days, but it's okay. It was my birthday for last week, so
happy belated.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it gets to bleed in for the rest of the month.
Hey, it's birthday month, man.
Yeah. You know, it was in February, but I'm counting it towards now.
There
So my laziness is a lot to shred through. But I'm definitely gonna get back on the horse soon. It's so exciting.
And speaking of like laziness, like I know I can attest to this myself. For example, when we went and filmed our Halloween video, that day I remember just not being in the mood. The last thing I wanted to do was like get all dressed up. I wore this big inflatable like ostrich costume.
Oh my gosh.
And the last thing I wanted to do was go out and just put this character on and just not like. I was playing a character the whole night, asking people these stupid questions on Halloween at night for like 3 hours. We're out there. Do you ever find that you are out there doing your interviews and you're like, man, I don't want to be doing this, but like whatever, I'm still gonna do it?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot. Yeah, I just like I obviously love doing what I'm doing, and like I'm making money, so like I really can't complain, and I'm not complaining, but I 100% feel that way a lot. I'm like again, I message my friend, and him and I kind of motivate each other. But I'm like I don't want to go today. Yeah. And he's like, I don't care, man. We gotta go. I'm like, no, but I don't want to go today, man. Like, please.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the day, but it does. There's days that come where I'm like, I just don't want to be downtown, walking up to people. Because even look, you talk about the UFT video, right? Like that happens to me every day, which is fine. I don't mind rejection, but it's like I also don't like being in people's face and in their business. And I don't like run up to like people's faces like that. You know, I try not to get too close.
Yeah.
But like, I also don't like, you know, some people are having a bad day, or some people just don't want to talk to you, or some people are annoyed by you, right? Which again, I'm deeply not as concerned with that on a personal level. I know it's not personal towards me, and I know people don't personally not like me. And even if they do, whatever, that's on them. But I'm just a stranger in the street. But, you know, for the most part, it's also frustrating, right? Like it's annoying to have somebody like run up to you, and like for me to do it to multiple people in my thing, depending on what type of video. Sometimes I'm just doing an interview and I ask, and that's a little bit more of a chill day.
Yeah.
Because whatever you say, people say yes, and you're just, you know, they're willing to be a part of the video. But other times they're running up to people and they're just like, no, I don't want to talk to you. And you're like, okay, like whatever. And you know, intrinsically as a human, like I just don't like bothering other people. but that's just like a nature of what I'm doing, right? So to that degree, which is sometimes why I'm like, I just don't really want to do this today, because in the same way that I feel that way, other people are like, ugh, I don't want you to get out of my face today. Like, I just don't want to do that. And there's a lot of people that will feel like that on a day-to-day basis when you walk around downtown Toronto. And there's a lot of people that are very nice and want to answer your question and are very funny.
Yeah.
So it all depends. But I think that it comes deep-rooted from that, where it's like, I just don't want to bother people, obviously. But that's kind of just part of what I do. So that's why sometimes I'm like, oh, I just don't want to get in people's faces today, but you got to do what you got to do to get the content.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
Yeah.
How many times would you say is like in terms of the percentage of when, how am I going to word this? How many people are saying, yeah, okay, sure, in a day compared to the people that are saying no?
My success rate at Ryerson, I'd say, is like 65%.
Okay.
Yes. It's actually pretty good.
That is
Most
good.
people here, it's dwindling a little bit though. I think that UFT video did a number on me, because I think people saw it and were like, "Oh my god, we can say no to this guy. Like we can tell him to like go screw himself."
Yeah.
So my numbers dwindled. But it's on a bad day at Ryerson, it's 50-50. on a good day, it's like 70-30.
Oh, that's great.
So I usually never, ever dip below that 50-50 mark, which is great. Like, it's really, really good here. I still haven't gone to, like, I want to go to a few other universities. Like, I still got to go to McMaster in New York and, like, go test it out at other places.
Yeah.
And I want to do nightlife stuff again, kind of when you know, when we saw you guys that first time. But it's really hard to do in the winter.
Yeah, that's
people
more of a
just want to
summer
get to where they're going,
Yeah.
and it's, like, not fun.
Yeah.
So that's why Toronto's a little bit frustrating for that. But in the summertime, it's going to be a big content summer this summer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of content coming out. So.
And I
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
No, no, I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out this summer.
I was gonna say, and at this point, you already have, like, you're already pretty established online, so there are gonna be more people, I think, that recognize you as the, like, Toronto interview guy. So they'll be more likely to be like, I would think they'll be more
Yeah.
likely to be like, okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People will be.
Yeah.
People will be. But, like, I just got to get my waiver game up. Because a lot of, like, there are people that message you after you do the interviews, especially if you're doing it on King Street. And they're like, I don't want that to be posted. I don't want to get fired from my job. I'm like, you're not going to get fired from your job for saying that you don't like guys who don't buy you flowers. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I'll be like, what's the thing you don't like in a guy? They're like, I don't like when he doesn't text first. And I'm like, no, don't post that. Like, I look so bad. And it's like, you really don't. Like, but people, you know, their perceptions of how they look on video, right? Everybody has their things, which I totally get. But I make people sign waivers now, which is good, because that way they're like, all right, like, this is good. And I'm like, I'm not going to make you look dumb. Like, I usually, like, I'm pretty good at making sure people don't look that bad. You know, sometimes people say things that are a little egregious, but I'm like, that's what you said. Like, you said that. I didn't ask you to say all that, but you did. So it all depends. But I think I am. There's been a lot of people that, like, kind of come up to me and, like, want to be in interviews and stuff like that, or see me. So that's also, I'm hopefully gonna be afforded that. But it's mostly in this area, which is why I got to get out of this area, so that way people in other parts of Toronto are like, okay, like, I recognize this guy, because I know if I ever go back to U of T, which I probably won't, because, like I said, and I will say it again, I don't like that school with every burning fiber passion of my body, and put it on the record, because I don't like U of T. But if I do ever go back there, I know for a fact people are going to chew me out, which I would be down for. But I know, or people will come up to me like, hey, man, like, I seen people U of T don't like you. Like, yo, I'll do an interview with you. Like, I think people will be like, all right, like, let me show you what the good part of the school. So I think it'll all depend. But my success rate at U of T was like 10% that day.
Yeah, that's wild. In that video, like, every person's like, oh, no, I got class.
Like, and this is the thing, people do that here too. Like, don't people do that here? It's not, but at U of T, I swear to you, 10% of people stop to say something. 90% of people are like, I gotta go. I'm like, you're not gonna die if you don't make it a Psych 101. Like, relax. People are like, we gotta make it across campus. Like, you don't get what it's like to U of T. I'm like, I get it. It's a big campus. You gotta go to where you're going. It's class. It's not that deep. Sing a song with the word love. It's not that hard. Like, I'm trying to brighten your day. But you know what? Like I said, people are busy and don't want to be bothered by people. And I get that. So I'm not that pressed by it. But at the same time, the school spoke for itself in that video.
Yeah, it did. A lot of the comments were saying that too. Like, you know, comparing, like, TMU or to U of T.
Yeah. They were like, oh, it's midterm season. I'm like, I filmed this a month ago. It was not midterm season. It was the beginning of the semester. But every single class and semester at U of T, it's like, it's midterm season. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Week 1, midterm.
Yeah, literally, though. They're like, bro, it's midterms. I was like, I filmed this during your guys' reading week,
Hey, it's July right now.
Yeah, like, what? Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So you said you want to be a content creator. You are a content creator. You want to continue to grow yourself and establish yourself.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider going into, like, acting? Like, if I look at someone like, for example, King Back, him.
Yes.
He started off on Vine. He was making those videos, and now he's acting in movies and stuff and TV shows. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah, I mean, I do like acting. I've acted in a lot of people's videos here, like in media production and stuff. I like acting. Is that something I'd pursue? I'd love to. I've been pursued to do acting before. I've done a couple of auditions, bombed them. Because
that happens.
Yeah, it happens. But they reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, like, we really want you to do this thing." I'm like, yeah. I do an audition, and they just don't hit my line back. And they were like, that was all right, man, thanks. Which is, like, so bad, because it's like they reach out to you, and then you just don't do well at all. Which is again, I'm not an actor, so it's like it's not really my trade. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Like, I think if the opportunity comes, it'll come. I'm not the type of person that's gonna seek it out. I've always kind of been the person to like let things happen for what it is. I will chase my own opportunity. Like, don't get me wrong. I always reach out. I always follow up. I'm always the type of person that, like, if I want something, I'll go get it. But at the same time, I just kind of like leave things be. So if somebody wants to see me in an acting role, like, and they really like my personality and think I could do something, then hopefully that'll kind of, the cards will fall as they may. If they do, I might be going to LA at some point soon to kind of like pursue this thing for real. So if people out there kind of deem me suitable for the big screen or the small screen or the TIFF screen, maybe I'll be in a movie one day. Who knows?
That's great. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, right. I like DJing as well. It's kind of like my big thing. So
I want to talk about that a bit.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, no. I started DJing a couple years ago, and I'm definitely still a baby in the game, but I love it. I love mixing music. I love making people dance. I play a lot of dance music. It's great. Like, it's just like a fun thing to do. I think everybody at some point who loves music wants to be a DJ. Yeah. Or like says it and is like, I want to be a DJ. Like, I've always wanted to learn, which you can learn. It's not hard. I learned by myself online.
That's what people tell me. I'm on the same boat.
People tell you should be DJ?
Yeah.
So then why aren't you being a DJ?
I don't know. It's just like a lot of equipment. Like you said, like it's kind of intimidating.
It's not, I mean, it is kind of intimidating, but it's only one piece of it. It's just one controller is all you need. It's not that. You need the money for a controller. That's where you got to start, which is like $500, I'd say, like for a good controller. Yeah. That's all you need, though.
Well, I'm inspired now.
You should be. It's a lot of fun. Just do it in your base. So that's what I did. I literally, in my room. I was just in my room. I DJ'd like 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day. I learned how it worked. I kind of asked. I had one buddy who kind of helped me out, but not really, because he was in Montreal and he couldn't really do things with me hands-on. But I just watch videos online. There's tons of videos online to learn how to do stuff, and you just like go from there. I'm not an amazing DJ. People still tell me that I'm really good, or other DJs who are like been in the game forever, they're like, yo man, you're pretty good, and I'm like, I'm not. Like, and I feel like I'm not, because there's so many people that are just really, really good at this thing. But I do love it, and hopefully we'll perform on a big stage one day. I don't know what that would look like. Maybe I'll be on tour. I've always wanted to go on tour. It's on my bucket list. Yeah. But I just love spinning music. It's fun, and I love good music. So,
what kind of music do you typically spin, or does it kind of change depending on the vibe, depending on the night? I'm
pretty open format. Like, I could spin anything, but I do spin a lot of like funk, a lot of neo soul, like indie funk, probably like Anderson .Paak.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kaytranada type stuff. I live in that realm, like Cosmos Midnight. I do like a lot of bouncy music, just like stuff that makes you wanna, like house. I do a lot of house too. A lot of house music is what I love to spin, but I could do anything. Like, I spin rock music sometimes at the bar I'm at. Yeah, because some people love it. Like AC/DC.
How do you
Queen.
How do you transition those songs into each other?
It's hard. Yeah, it's pretty hard. But like most times, I just like fade it out. Yeah, or just drop it on like the good part, like "We Will Rock You" or something, like the part where it starts to sing. So rock isn't the easiest, but I also like spinning rock music because I like rock music. I grew up playing rock band, so I'm pretty open format. But house music and like funky stuff is where I live.
Playing rock band, were you guitar or drums?
Drums, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm good at drums too. I was playing. I shamelessly have a YouTube video of me playing Rock Band on Expert on my YouTube.
Expert.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But that was on their easier songs though. Okay. Like there's the Expert songs on Expert. I was playing like the easier songs on Expert. Yeah. I'm pretty good. But like, when I was like didn't have a job during COVID, I was like uploading YouTube videos, and that was one of the YouTube videos I uploaded because I was like, let people watch me play Rock Band.
Hey, why not?
It's not embarrassing, but it's just so funny that I did that.
When you're someone who's trying to pump out content, sometimes you got to post the embarrassing stuff.
Oh yeah, man. No, you got to post everything. So it was I love Rock Band to this day. I still play. I love it.
I used to play Rock Band when I was younger. My brother was a really good drummer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you play guitar?
I play guitar, but I'm not like musically inclined. So I'd be struggling. He'd be like over there just humping on the drums, and I'm trying to keep up. And then we wouldn't make it through the whole song because of me.
Yeah, literally, he's like screaming at you, throwing drumsticks at your face. He's like, we were 70% of the way through.
Yeah,
like, bro, I'm not good at this. Like,
yeah, sorry.
Is he older than you? Or
no, he's younger than me.
Oh wow, and he used to chew you out.
Yeah. Like, but I can't. I can't be Slash. Yeah. I'm not that good.
I'm not that good.
Come on, man. Nah, but I did that when I was younger. Yeah,
that's so funny. Yeah, man. I know the days, bro. Yeah, we used to play like full bands when COVID was like kind of opened up and we were allowed to have people over. I used to have like a full band of people at my house, like guitar, bass, singer. Yeah.
Y'all coming over for Rock Band tonight?
Yo, literally, there was nothing better to do. Like we were just ripping Rock Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Is that what you did to keep busy during COVID? Was it a lot of rock band?
Yeah, I did that. I was making videos on
Yeah.
this Moose Media page that kind of went dormant. But I did a lot of video posting on that. I hosted an online music festival. I actually had 2 of them
awesome.
that I did during COVID, and it was like a live festival with good artists and stuff, and we raised money for charity. So that was kind of fun. But I did that during COVID, and then I did all of that to get a job, which is what I inevitably did. I got a job, and I was just like working through the rest of it. So, but for the first 4 or 5 months, I was just like messing around on social media, just making videos online, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one more question I have here from Instagram. It has more to do with kind of approaching people for these interviews. It's from Tate Lily on Instagram. She wants to know, how do you approach randoms without feeling awkward? Do you kind of have to get in a zone? Do you put on like a character, or are you just like, you know what, this might be awkward. Whatever. I'm about to go ask this girl for her number. Whatever. Let's just do it.
I mean, obviously having confidence is like the first key to any of that sort of stuff. But honestly, like the biggest thing for me is just like no fear of rejection. Like people are gonna say no. Like people are gonna say no. Some people are literally gonna tell you to F off.
Yeah.
It's rare, but most of the time, or some of the time, people are going to say yeah, and they're going to want to tell you a funny story. And if they have a bad story, then they have not a good story, and you move on. Like they're not going to remember this. If anything, it's a wrench in their day. Like it's a change of gear to what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Walking to class, they got interviewed about something, and then that gets them thinking about probably other date stories, and they're going to be in the shower that night being like, oh my God, I forgot about this other date where this guy like threw water on me. Like that was crazy.
Whoa.
So if anything, like I feel like at least I'm giving people something fresh and new in their day that's like, oh, this is fun and interesting. Like, let me do something new. Like, well, how often are you getting interviewed about your life ever?
Yeah.
Right? So I think when it comes to going up to people, I'm just really comfortable with myself. So, like, no matter what happens on the other end of it, it doesn't really matter to me if they say no, if they say yes, if it's a good interaction, if it's a weird interaction, if it's an awkward interaction. It doesn't matter to me at the end of the day.
Okay,
because like I'm doing this, and I have that all the time on a day-to-day basis, and like it kind of hardens you in the real world, because then you learn how to deal with things that are hard.
Yeah, that confidence sticks with you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you deal with things that are difficult on a day-to-day basis, and you kind of stick with that throughout your whole life instead of just doing these interviews. So because I've been doing it for quite a while now, like it's just a matter of not caring. I just don't like it. It's so cliche. People say this all the time, but you don't have to care that much about what people think. They're gonna forget about it in 2 seconds anyway. If they say yes, they'll think about it and think it was a great thing, or they might not. If they say no, they're gonna forget about it in 10 seconds when they're in class. Like they're not even gonna remember. Like no, when the world isn't about you. If you make it all about you and how worried and scared or awkward you might feel, then inevitably you're not gonna get what you want. But nobody really cares at the end of the day. Yeah. Like what you talk to them, they're like, whatever. All these people, like people that I interviewed that I haven't even posted, for example, they forgot that stuff even happened. Yeah. Like they don't even remember unless they see it on my page. They're like, oh my God, that guy spoke to me. I forgot. Yeah. People forget. Like so much content goes by nowadays. It's crazy.
It is wild. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there. So just go up. I mean, I'm not saying if this person wants to go up and talk to people, but if you want to do what you want to do, just don't have any fear. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I
got one last question here before we have to wrap up.
All right.
From Max_Mezzo. He wants to know, who are your favorite creators in Toronto?
So funny. I know Max.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, Max, you're also one of my favorite creators. He does make videos on TikTok. He's hella thirst trappy though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he knows it. But he's got an army of Sims.
Really?
Oh yeah,
he just rides with it.
Oh, 100%. He's got like, oh my God, I'm trying to think, like his rate women and like 8% men.
Would you be interested in thirst traps?
Absolutely not. Maybe if my body gets nice enough. I've been in the gym, so maybe if I get cute enough. But no, probably not. Max is definitely one of my favorite creators, I will say, because he's been consistent, and consistency is what I like. I like him. I like my other friend/acquaintance, Bowmanizer, is really funny.
Yeah, he's great. I've seen his stuff.
Yeah. He went to the school as well. So, but he's hilarious because now that I've done reality TV, I find his reality TV stuff even funnier. Yeah, because it's like that's not what it's like, but it's just like the way that he does his segments are hilarious. So I do love Bowman. There's another guy who's also from Toronto who I met recently named Tommy like a shoulderman or something like that, or schooler or whatever. He did this one video of Phineas and Ferb. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I don't think I have.
But it's like Phineas and Ferb, but it's like real life, and it's like how they make money and stuff. And like he's like Ferb is just cutting checks to like these construction workers, and they're like, bro, you guys are building a roller coaster like in your room. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, have you seen that?
I've seen this video. Yeah.
So his stuff, his stuff kills me every time. Where it's like, oh, like he did one video of when the boys go out with your girlfriend, like without you. And he's like, yeah, man. And then like the last guy comes in and he's just like, yeah, man, dude, it's crazy. I was making out with this blonde chick last night. He was like, they were like, yo, chill, bro. Like, that's his girl. His stuff is hilarious. So Tommy, I forget what his last name is, but he is so freaking funny.
Yeah, we'll find him.
Yeah. And he does all stuff on his own too. He writes all his own content and he does all his own characters and stuff. And then also Austin
Breaking news! Sam Bird is stupid and lost the audio from the last 2 minutes of this interview. Here he is with more information. Also, my wife recently gave birth to her second child. Her name is Isabel.
Yes, the rumors are true. We lost the last 2 minutes of audio for this interview. It was all Jenny's fault, not mine, so it's okay. And it wasn't the first 48 minutes of the interview, so there's that. At the end, Moose was promoting his upcoming DJ set at Blue Moon Brewery in downtown Toronto for Oasis at Stacked, and that's going to be on March 31st. You can find tickets in the description of this video, audio, podcast, medium, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube, and on Moose's Instagram page at Moose Bendago. That is MooseBendago. I'll be there. Jenny will be there. Moose will be there, and him and some of his homies will be spinning tables, if that's the DJ term that is used for that. All right, that does it for this episode of Birdcore. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, I am joined by up-and-coming Toronto comedian and former Montreal resident like myself, Jacob Silva. Jacob has performed at Yuck Yucks. I've seen him live. I have laughed my ass off. It's going to be a great sit down with him. And if you've made it this far into the episode, send me a DM. I'll send you my credit card info. And I just want to know how many real ones are out there, honestly. All right, that's it for me. Gang, baby. Good night. Or good day. Or good afternoon. You know, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope it's good. Okay, love you.
It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and like have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cub's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.